Last week was a tough week for the reputation of law enforcement. A video of Memphis cops beating Tyree Nichols to death, his funeral last week, where many who spoke called for law enforcement reforms with the recognition that not all police are bad, but a few bad ones make the good ones look bad. It was weeks ago when I invited Commander Christine Anthony Miller and Lieutenant Darrell Henderson on to talk about HPD recruiting efforts, and we'll get to that. But Commander, your thoughts on the video evidence we saw last week that really puts a bad light on all that you do in police work.
Absolutely. As an officer, I was angry. I was saddened. As a human being, I could not understand it. I don't understand how someone could violate their oath, the badge. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Nichols family, Memphis, Chief Davis. And I just hope that people do understand that that action is not representative of law enforcement as a whole, and certainly not the Houston Police Department. So that's what I would have to say.
Lieutenant Henderson, you're part of recruitment as well. What do you look for in people who you're trying to recruit to make sure they don't have those kind of tendencies? I mean, you can't, some things you just can't know. You can't know. But how do you try to weed out people who might have the tendency to do what these officers are alleged to have done?
Well, in the recruiting division, we have a stringent hiring process where we start with our intake, where we start vetting them through some preliminary criteria. Then we go through reading comprehension, vocabulary, physical agility. But to get to your point, when they go to background, and that's where we really start to screen the applicants in our background process. And then we send them to psychological evaluation, which they must pass psychological evaluation before they receive final approval by the chief of police.
And now you're in the effort, you're trying to get more recruits. You've been trying to do this, and you're like saying, hey, we got $10,000. If you want to be a Houston police officer, this may help kind of tilt the decision a little bit. Talk about that.
Absolutely. We recognize that we have to offer a competitive salary, and it was low. And so we went to the mayor and found some federal funds and offered this hiring incentive. And so we're really hoping that that offers a competitive wage, a living wage. And so, you know, we're just very excited to bring that. And I hope that brings more people in and says, you know, hey, I really, really want to do this, but it's nice to get a little change in my pocket.
Yeah, that's a good point. And now when they come, it's all about you get in some money before you enter the academy or once you get into the academy? How does that work?
Sure.
You got to get in the academy.
Okay.
So usually after you get into the academy and are approved, it's usually about your first full paycheck. It'll be $2,500.
Okay.
And about midway through the academy, another $2,500. And then if you pass that, get that TCOL license and graduate, that's at $5,000.
So talk about the academy process. How long is that typically, and what kinds of things go on to get you ready? And then once you get out of the academy, you may graduate, but you still have a lot more learning to do, correct?
Oh, you do. Our entire cycle is roughly about a year. So you start 6 months in the academy. The first 3 months are pretty much academic and physical training. And then once you get through your academic blocks, then you go to your what we call the fun stuff. You go to the shooting, the driving, the scenarios, the real-time activities of mimicking law enforcement. Mm-hmm. Once you graduate, that's when you go into the field training program, which is roughly another 3 to 4 months where you're paired with a senior officer days, evenings, and nights for training. And then you go through a series of evaluations with a senior officer. Once you pass all of that, which is roughly 9 months to a year, then you complete our full training cycle.
This whole thing, once you become a police officer, what is the pride that goes along with wearing the badge? I mean, I know that people, once they get that, once they've said, that's what I want to do, once you get that badge, you remember the excitement that you had when you first got that badge?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And every time that I put this uniform on, I still have that pride because I am able to serve my community, and I'm able to serve it with honor, integrity, and respect. And I'm just so proud to be able to wear this and to be part of this community. But it is very important that we police with legitimacy, with, you know, honoring constitutional rights, and earn the trust of that community that they entrust upon us. And so just very proud to wear this badge.
The challenge now with what's going on in some of the areas like Memphis, when you go out, you represent, to some people, you represent the bad part.
Sometimes. You know, I joined the Houston Police Department in 2020, right before George Floyd. So we've seen tough times. But here in the city of Houston, we have great support from our community, and we have great police-community relations, great partnerships with the community and the business community. So these relationships have helped us overcome, and we've done well in our recruiting efforts.
Well, I'm going to make sure we put all of the information we talked about on our website, our Houston Newsmakers website on clicktohouston.com. Thank you very much. Always good to see you guys. Look forward to. And I've aged out. I can't be a cop. I'm sorry. Oh. But next time. Thank you again.